Hello, good morning. My name is King David, and I am a friend of the Most High, and I'm a servant of the Most High. And today, Father has given me the permission and the authority to react to a particular video. And see it this way. Father and I will be reacting to this video. He wants to give his 2 cents regarding what is currently going on in the country, specifically the security issues. And do not forget, I've told you, anyone that says they're a prophet of the Most High or a servant of the Most High, you must always test the spirit. And the scripture says, this is how you know a spirit is of God. Any spirit that boldly says that Jesus is God, is the Son of God, He died and resurrected, is of God. With that said, I serve the Most High, the one who was, the one who is to come, the one who sits at the throne of heaven, the Lord of heaven's armies, and the Lord of all spirits. I serve His Son, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who is God, the only begotten Son of God, who came in the flesh, died on the cross of Calvary for man's sins, went to Sheol, but the Spirit of the Most High rose Him up, and now He sits at the right hand of the Most High with all authority and power given to Him. That is who I serve. With that said, Father and I, so you, please do not misunderstand it. I talk to Father easily, a lot, and this is a gift that He has given to all His children, but not every child of the Most High takes advantage of the fact that you are now able to talk to Father, to talk to Yahweh, to talk to Jesus directly. So what we're doing right now is, as we're watching the video and reacting, Father is going to be saying a lot of things through me, and I'll be telling you what He's saying. So let's begin.
So he's a former presidential aide. Good morning. Thank you for coming in today.
Good morning. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, but the really heartbreaking one is this unfortunate killings in this state. And sometimes you look at the matter, it's frustrating to even try to put narrative together to describe what's going on, because even as someone who is not seated in the security room or that situation, you could see lapses. So you then imagine that they, with all the facilities, they would have been seeing more than persons who are not in there. Yet, these kind of things keep happening, which leaves people to just conclude or go to that conclusion, rightly or wrongly, there's collusion somewhere.
Pause. So, Father says that, what do you expect? A nation birthed on the foundation of Satanism, of course there will be killings. What do you expect? It is blood for blood. But let's just keep watching.
Well, Timber, you put it so nicely. I'm wondering what am I to add to it. But what it is, indeed, like you said, is that in my view, there are 4 important points. The first one is the persistent failure of security, which should tell the president, who is in charge, that his security strategy is failing. That's the first point. Okay? And
Pause. So, in regards to that, it is not necessarily that the president's strategy is failing, but you must understand that he is not being allowed to have a strategy. Put it this way, I'm going to be very honest with you. This is Father's words to you. Nigeria is ruled by powers you do not see, and powers in the spiritual realm you do not see. You cannot expect a president who serves these powers to have a strategy, because everyone is in But the issue here is the president doesn't even have a strategy. This strategy you see is the strategy to allow people die, the strategy of getting people killed. It is the instruction given to him, and I'm telling you this from Father's mouth. These are secrets that most people do not know in the government, and these are secrets some people actually even know in the government as well. So that's why it feels like as if the president is not doing anything. It's not because he's not doing anything, but it's because he is not allowed to do anything, and he has been instructed not to do anything. Let's continue.
that may be the more difficult one, trying to find, a right security strategy. But the other stuff that should not happen is the lack of accountability. So you have all these security chiefs who have been given this task, and we are having the failure. What is happening to them? No accountability.
This one makes sense. This one is just pure, actually. If I'm being honest, because let's even say there's nothing spiritual relating to this. So let's say everything was really right and stuff. What he is saying is actually correct. There is actually no accountability in the heads The heads and the people in charge, it feels as though they're not reporting to anyone. It feels like as though everybody is just lackadaisical. Let us just allow everything to happen as it is happening. It feels as though everyone is in on it. Let's continue.
Now, that is something that the president ought to be able to handle, okay, to make those guys accountable for what they have been asked to do. That is not happening. The other thing that is also not happening that should happen is the reign of impunity and the persistent injustice. The people who are committing this violence, they are not being arrested, there are no trials. We don't see that justice is being served.
Regarding that, Father said it seems that way because everyone is in cohorts with each other. Everyone is working together. So everyone is serving under the same umbrella. The heads of these people are serving and working with the heads in the government. That is why it feels as though only the kind of people... That's why it feels as though the people that are even brought to justice are the lackeys, the pawns, the ones who can take the fall for the generals. Everyone is serving the same Lord. Everyone has almost the same secret meetings, and everyone is given almost the same instructions. It's more like a brotherhood. Please understand that whatever I'm saying to you, Father is the one saying to it. It is more like a brotherhood. In the brotherhood, if we're working together, no one snitches on each other. See it this way. The judge is in the brotherhood. The president is in the brotherhood. The head of the terrorists is in the brotherhood. Everyone is in the brotherhood. All of them have instructions given to them by someone higher. And I will say it again, someone spiritually higher. And in the brotherhood, the rule is you do not snitch on another brother. You do not snitch or reveal the identity of another brother. That's why it feels as though justice is not being served. It is not that justice doesn't want to be served. It is not being allowed to be served. Because anyone that snitches on the brotherhood, if you're not careful, you will die. If you do not die, one of your family members will be killed, or someone close to you will be killed. For those of you that are in the brotherhood, you know what I speak, and you know what I'm talking about.
These are things that we can do even when we're trying to struggle to sort out, what is the best way to deal with the violence overall. We should be able to have accountability. We should be able to to stop impunity. And the easiest part of it is the president continues to issue all these deadpan press statements.
Exactly. Well, I'm sorry, but what do you expect him to do? Everyone is playing a role. Literally, everyone is acting. Of course he has to do that because there's nothing else he would do. Let me explain it this way. All things I'm saying are... Everything I'm speaking right now is coming from the authority of the Most High. It might feel like as if I'm revealing some secrets, but that's the whole point. Father actually wants to reveal some things. See it this way. In a country that is ruled by the enemy, everyone is assigned a role to play. I will tell you this. Father has said this before, and I'm going to tell you again. Your elections are not decided by you. Your elections are not decided by your votes. The person who sits as the commander-in-chief of a nation, has been decided long ahead of time. The person is not randomly put. The person has been groomed and has been brought there intentionally. One of the best ways to deceive a nation is to make them feel they are involved. Once they feel they're involved in the electoral process, it is easier to cover some things up. But understand that Father said that your presidents have been elected from higher powers in other nations because everybody is working together. So everybody has a role to play. And that is why a lot of things seem this way. Whilst we're still trying to look for ways, let me just be very honest, this is Father's word to you. The simplest way for the nation to be better is return to your maker. It's very simple. You serve Satan, you serve a god, a false god that loves blood. What do you expect? And the Bible, Father has said it so many times. If you serve other gods, if you disobey him, there are specific things that will happen to the nation. A nation is blessed when the king, the president, serves the Most High. If the king is an idolater and serves other things, the people in the nation will suffer for it, and we are suffering for it. Let's move on.
And it's a good thing that he has decided yesterday that he's going to plateau, But at moments like this, it's important for the president and his handlers to know that the people want to hear his voice. They want to see him. All these deadpan press statements after all these things is completely, totally useless and insensitive.
I would love to speak regarding the Plateau incident. Let me throw the question out, honestly. If you were the president and you had a dinner with the British king, and eventually you find out or something eventually happens, it's funny. Have you thought about it? The timing of the attack and the timing of he leaving the country seems very, very, planned, but let's leave that. If you were the president and you had a dinner with the British king and something like that happened, I want to ask you personally, you watching, would you have cancelled your dinner and gone to see your people? Be honest with me. Be honest with yourself. The only way you would have cancelled your dinner and gone to see your people is if you're a man of love, if you're someone that loves and understands. It is a heart refined by the Most High that can do something like that. A heart not properly touched by Father, you would not. You just wouldn't. You would say the ends justify the means, because I understand that the dinner had more implications. It had more overall implications of him attending that dinner that we do not see for the country. But the idea will be the ends justify the means. Only a loving king would be able to actually postpone that dinner or give, I do not know, or just do something else.
Do it. Exactly. Look at what is happening in Plateau and Benue. Where are the suspects? Where is the accountability?
It's very interesting, that when the president went to Benue, that's the first question he asked. One of the questions he asked is, no arrests, and he had to direct that to the IGP. IG, no arrests, because over and over again. So I was going to ask you very clearly, because you speak about accountability. What?
Father said those particular ones, they are being paid. He said that those ones don't even have anything to do with Satanism. That one is just obvious bribery and corruption.
What should accountability look like? Okay,
so I'll bring up the story, that Pastor Yadiboye narrated a couple months back, about the question of insecurity and the meeting that he had with President Buhari, and what he told President Buhari that, look, you have to give the security chiefs a deadline. You have to give them a deadline, 3 months, 4 months, sort this thing. And if they don't sort it, then there should be consequences for that failure. We cannot have people who are charged with maintaining security and then Nigerians are being killed like as if they are flies. There must be accountability. We must know why they have not delivered, and something they ought to carry the burden and the responsibility. That is not happening.
But in this...
Okay, so Father said, if you as my children continue to see your problem as a nation from the physical perspective, you will ask questions and keep asking questions as you have been doing for years, and you'll have no answers. There are powers that rule each nation, good powers and satanic powers and evil powers. The power ruling Nigeria, Father said it is a very old principality that has been ruling this nation for years, and this is as a result of disobedience to the Most High. It's as a result of sacrifice of blood, as a result of shedding of blood. So the earth itself has spoken against the country. The foundation and the root must be fixed if anything in this country is to get better. But good news, Father has plans. He has secret plans that he is already putting into motion regarding the status of the country. I just had to say that because Father wanted me to say that quickly. We'll soon be ending the video. Let me just see if there's any other thing to react to.
Okay, so Mr. Akonde, I want to take a look at, this is not me making excuses, but let's be practical.
Right.
We do know that with people who are determined to carry out an attack, all they need is one slip. According to the security agencies, they say we have to be correct 100% of the time. Because it is when we are wrong, just 1% is when you see attacks like this. And when you...
Not really. And Father explains this way in the sense that it is not even about the sleep. It's the coordination. Everybody is working together. And not everyone is permitted the knowledge that everybody is working together. Only the head of the heads in the security department to know that everyone is working together. The pawns have no idea. They do what they try to do, but they always find out that it backfires. That's the issue. No, it feels as though their efforts are not working or is a waste. And see it this way, it just feels like as though I send you to capture a group of people, but I myself still give those group of people information that you are coming to capture them. That is what is happening with the state of the country, and this is as a result of foundational issues. Father said these foundational issues, especially with the terrorists, spans a lot of countries and nations that scurry down to Nigeria, but also span a lot of years. They hold Nigeria in a chokehold. That's the word. Yeah, they hold Nigeria and the president and the officials in a chokehold. That is why it seems as though nothing is being done, especially regarding the security issues. Because there are people in the government that really and actually do know where they are. If they wanted to, they could send security officials to capture all of them. But the problem with that is that even if they do, there are moles in the government that will give that information out, and it will just be all for waste.
So the point, Marco, is that so we're no longer talking of one slave. This has become persistent over the years, and I am quick to say that.
I had to pause quickly because I love what this man says. He speaks truth. I do not know if he's aware that he speaks truth, and I know what I mean by truth. I am not just talking about fact. He speaks truth. These are no longer slip-ups. They are coordinated, planned attacks. And now Father says to tell his children that, understand it from this perspective. A nation built on the foundations of anything evil will require blood. That is why it feels as though trafficking is a normal thing. Yes, of course, there are agendas asides to that, but even a lot of these people, these terrorists, do not know that they are pawns to the overall arcing goal of the fallen ones. I'm being very truthful to you and being very honest with you. That is why it feels like this constant kidnapping, constant killing. Yes, like I said, there's still agenda because the enemy and his angels, they help human evil desires fulfill what they actually want to do, deceiving them without them actually knowing that they're just serving a singular purpose. And that is actually the issue here. And I'm going to be honest with you, apart from that, Father says a lot of the things that we're going through in this country is also a punishment. It's a form of punishment, and in the sense of a form of punishment, it is just he allowing you to do your own thing. He decided to step back and only save his own people. I know you might not like that part, but it had to be said. And that's why it feels like there's constant killings, there's constant kidnappings, people are just being slaughtered anyway, because all these people do not know or realize that they are just pawns in the overarching goal of the fallen ones. And this spans different countries. All countries are just working together. It is not just Nigeria, it is everywhere. Even the Iran war has to do with a lot of spiritual battles and prophecy. But let's leave that aside. And one more thing.
I'm not just saying this is a Tinubu administration problem. No, a government that I serve also dealt with this problem, and I don't think it dealt with it correctly, which is why we're still here. So it's no longer a question of a slave, somebody escaped, a lone ranger. No, this is a systemic, organized approach to violence. And that is why it is important to go after those people, not to wait for them to come. I mean, for my own little understanding of strategy.
Father said there are people he has placed there that actually do want to go after these people without having to wait for them, but they are being restricted. They are not being allowed, and they do not know why. Leaving aside even the people that God has put there, there are people that genuinely actually just want to do this to help the country because they are tired of these constant killings. But these ones, they have too much information. And because of the fact that they have too much information, inside knowledge information, they cannot speak out, they cannot move. If they try it, they'll either be killed or be fired or something worse. Most likely their family members. So there are people who genuinely, if possible, if they had a go ahead, would have gone to attack these people, because like I said, there are people in the government that know the whereabouts of these terrorists clearly as we speak, but they cannot make any move or else they will be killed because they know secret or have secret information only pertaining to those that know. That is going to be the last part of the video, and that is where I'm going to end the video. So please do not forget what I said. Everything I spoke to you were not my ideas or my thoughts. They were Father's direct words to his children. Father wants his children to begin to know what exactly is going on from the spiritual perspective regarding the country, and I will be a vessel to bring that to his people. And apparently they have taken light. And that will be the end of the video. God bless you. So from today, we'll be seeing more of this type of videos constantly, because I think because I didn't plan this, I didn't even think it will happen, but Father has brought me here for a reason, and it's for his children to begin to get informed. So God bless you and have a very beautiful day. Amen.